I got these beautiful teeth about 3 years ago, and I'm here to talk about the good and the bad of them. And I think we're going to start off with the bad because everybody kind of wants to know about the bad things over the good. So we'll just start with that. One of my bad things was after getting my teeth installed, I had this gap in between my gums. And I was really concerned about that. And I was always talking and air would go through and I'd be blowing bubbles and all those things. So it was a big concern for me. And this was before we had Smile Maker page and, there's a lot more information out there. But yeah, I would get food packed under there and all this stuff. And so it was a real bothersome. But after my 4 months, they completely redesigned it and fixed all that. And boy, it is just tight. There's still a little gap in there because you need a little gap to get the floss in there and get your water pick in there and clean it out. But having that gap, I realized after that it was more for healing. You really need to get that space in there so you can really get in there and clean while you're healing and things are shifting. It's a major surgery, so having that gap is very beneficial. And I didn't know that at the time, so that's kind of why I'm saying it now, to help you understand that it'll all be good in the end. You'll get it. Nuvia will definitely fix it and get it tighter and get you all set up. So yeah, that was one of the really things that were bothersome for me, was that gap. But I'll tell you, in the end, it's all good. One of the best things that happened to me in getting these arches was getting rid of this. This thing was a huge pain, and physically and mentally. It would move when I talked. Food gets stuck under here. Every time I'd eat, I'd have to go to the bathroom, take it out, clean it off. And it hurt. The food would get under there and it hurt. And as you can see, the color, oh my goodness, terrible. Having these now, truly amazing. It's changed my life. I can't even think of life without them anymore. I mean, I can smile, I can eat. And a lot of people don't know you have a ton of taste buds in your palate, in the roof of your mouth. So getting rid of all this metal in the roof of my mouth has enhanced the flavor of everything. And it's truly amazing. And I couldn't emphasize enough how awesome these new teeth are. So another bad would be probably the cost. It seems to hit a lot of people a certain way. When I got hit with the cost, I was like, yeah, that's a lot, So I figured, hey, I'll just do the top. Save me some money. I'll Band-Aid the bottom and, then I could swallow it a little bit. So I went in and I got the top done and it was just, it was like the first time I've ever done anything for myself. So I'm always the person helping everybody else. And I really needed to get this done. And, I had this flipper I wore, and a tooth was going bad. So I had to get a new one of these because they were going to have to pull a tooth. And that's kind of when I decided to do it. So it was kind of a no-brainer I had to get something done. And obviously seeing the 24-hour teeth and everything like that from Nuvia, I was pretty much sold on that. So if you have a partial like this or dentures or any other kind of stuff, there is a link below. You can click on that. It'll direct you to the Nuvia cost guide. And you can kind of go over it and, go over all the financing options and everything like that, and just try to make it happen, because I guarantee you it's going to change your life for the better. Another one of the big positives I want to mention is getting rid of my PTSD with dental work. And that involves a lot of things. I had my dentist, I had trauma at 17. So I've been missing my teeth since I was 17. I'm 56 now. So it's a lot of years. So I've had a lot of surgeries and a lot of dental work in that time. My dentist used to have to prescribe me Valium just to walk through the doors, because I would just come in shaking and sweating and white knuckling the chair. And I had a lot of bad experiences with dentists. One thing I do say about Nuvia is their compassion. They're so compassionate. So that took a lot of the stress off. But getting the new teeth, I'm just so much healthier. I don't have those PTSD nightmares of my teeth, and there's no more pain. And so I can just live my life with so much less stress, because I've been stressing since I was 17 and having major anxiety about my teeth since I was 17. You know, like I said before, that my teeth move, and this flipper that I had is just terrible. And it was just gave me tons of anxiety. So in nightmares, you know, I would always have nightmares of these breaking and not having teeth, and I was very insecure. So having these has just put in so much more security in my being, that it's truly amazing. It's the best thing ever. I can't even explain it. It's like Santa Claus having a big sack of, you know, stress and trauma on the shoulder and just giving it all away and throwing it away. And look, I don't have a bag anymore. It's gone. So it's truly amazing. So another positive I wanted to talk about is 24 hours. Yes, it's true. You get your teeth in 24 hours. That was the big sell point for me, because growing up, you know, implants were constantly improving, and, you know, and you hear all the horror stories and everything else. And the biggest thing is when you get your implants, you're without teeth. Having these fake teeth since I was 17, I was very insecure about not having them. Even my dentist would tell me, you know, I had to take this thing out at night and sleep without it, and I wouldn't, because I was so insecure without having my teeth that I wouldn't take this thing out, even at night sleeping when no one around. So the teeth in 24 hours was what sold me. And you know, of course, there's skepticism and everything else, and there's a lot of negative stuff about it, people saying about it, but that's because they don't have the technology Nuvia does. And I'm here to tell you, I got my teeth 24 hours after my surgery, and I haven't looked back. And that was 3 years ago, and nothing has gone wrong. Absolutely nothing. So, yeah, you don't have to wait 6 months. You don't have to wait a year. You don't have to go through 6 different temporaries to get your permanents. You get your permanent teeth 24 hours after, and it is truly amazing. Going through the cost guide and everything, I was able to figure out how I was able to cut back some things and finance it. So I highly encourage you to check out the finance guide or the cost guide and go through it and figure it out. It's feasible. It definitely is feasible. You just have to want it, and you have to just investigate, check out that cost guide and go through it and figure it out. It'll be worth it, I promise.